I like the naturalness of everything.
Shaky.
Well, it's more real,
Yeah.
right, and authentic.
Yeah.
I think a lot of things are too perfect, and then when you look at all these different things on like Instagram, YouTube, everything's perfection.
Yeah.
And it's like, forget perfection, like just put it out there. So then nothing's perfect.
True.
So it's like everyone's trying to be perfect for nothing.
Yeah.
All right, let me know when you're recording. Oh, okay, nice. All right, well, welcome to the Rise and Thrive podcast. We are on site at Full Send Gym. I am excited. I got my boy here, Mike Barnes, a.k.a. Michael Alexander, a.k.a. Mr. Muscles, a.k.a. Muscle Mike, a.k.a. the guy that is from the north, the strongest man in history. We only got one mic here, so if you're listening to this on Spotify, you're welcome. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm sorry. But we're going to interview Mike. We're going to talk about different things. He's just opened up this gym. We're going to talk about opening up the gym, the type of work ethic that you actually do to get into the gym. But before we start into that, Mike, tell us about yourself.
Okay. Where do I start? I've been training for I personally have been training myself now for about 23 years. That kind of dates me because, I've been training myself for about 23 years. I've bodybuilded, placed pretty high as a national competitor. I've competed internationally. I've trained all types of people, athletes. I do nutrition for a couple of Olympians right now. And then I didn't really see myself opening a gym. Well, there's a point that I did see myself opening up a gym, then I didn't see myself opening up a gym, and then this happened. So, I started off a Good Life like most trainers do, because if you're a trainer in Canada, it's just a great place to start and learn. They offer so much to you. There's a bunch of knowledge there, and you can either stay with them and grow, or you decide to step out and kind of do your own thing. I decided to step out and do my own thing, which is not as easy as many people think it is, but here I am.
Nice. So, let's get into how did you get into the fitness realm? Because you said you played sports,
Yep.
and I remember you alluded to it while we were working out, talking about Birchmount, which has the beat program and track.
Yeah.
So let's talk about those early days.
Okay, so I went to a school in Scarborough called Stephen Leacock, and they were really known for basketball, and that's what I actually played. I was really good at basketball, but I loved football. So loved football, wasn't as good as basketball. I was okay. I was really good at basketball. Went to Syracuse, the training camps and stuff there, and learned a lot of how to train with athletes and stuff there. That's kind of where my athletic background goes. And then I played football for Scarborough Thunder, so that was a really competitive football team. I made the team. I played. I started. Was wide receiver. Oh shit! What year was that now? Ooh.
90s, 2000s.
Yeah, that would have been 2002.
Oh, so you're
2000
playing with
maybe.
ice?
That was so long ago now. That's 23 years ago now.
Yeah, so a couple people played there.
Yeah.
That was Cedarburg.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of people that
Yeah.
I played with that went to Cedarburg.
So Matthew Morris, Ice.
Yeah. I don't know the ice guy. Maybe I know him by name. There's some people that played that went to. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. There's some people that went to. You went to Cedarburg, you said?
Yeah.
There was that other guy who
Andre
played.
Linton.
The guy who went to Ohio or Nebraska.
Michael.
He was nasty though.
Yeah.
He was nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He went to Ohio.
Yeah. It was Ohio. Okay, it was Ohio. Ohio Bullseyes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I remember that dude.
Michael, I can't remember his last name.
Yeah.
But there was a couple guys that went.
It was a competitive time in the sport and stuff. Yeah, it was a good.
So you played Scarborough Thunder. How did you get into the personal training game?
Okay, so for personal training, what happened? I was looking for a change of career, and I was looking at getting into firefighting, and I started. Well, okay, let's actually back up for a second. So the truth is, how I got into fitness is I went through a bad breakup, and I was like, God damn, I am fat and out of shape. So I just was like, okay, I got to do something immediately, and I started training. And in going through training, I was like, okay, well, what do I want to do for a career? And I started looking at different things, and I started getting into firefighting, and then firefighters really in good shape. And then, ironically, 50 Cent came out. And I was like, damn, this guy's in really good shape. I want to look like that. I always wanted to look which kid doesn't, boy doesn't want to look like a superhero, right? Right. Did look like a superhero. So that kind of just all of these things happening all at the same time. And then I had a couple of friends that kind of were really into it. Some of those boys that played football were pretty jacked. So all of my surroundings started to kind of change. And then I just kind of fell into oh shit, I'm really liking this. And then from there, the bodybuilding bug bit me, and I really started getting into training. And then, yeah, that's kind of, it just spiraled into setting goals and just becoming better. And then I'm like, oh shit, I'm actually really good at this now. Well, I thought I was good at this. Whenever you think that you're good at something, you're going to get humbled if you're smart. And then you're going to realize I don't know shit. And when you get to that point, it means you probably know a little bit.
Yeah. So there's a thought that once you can admit that you know nothing, that's when you can truly start learning. Yeah. And that's something that I've taken. I learned that in philosophy class in grade 11, and I've taken that for my entire life, that I know nothing, and I will continue always learning. Sure. In comparison to the amount of knowledge that there is, I don't know anything. Yeah. So now, you started in personal training. So when you got into personal training, how was that first year?
Okay, so the first year was a very big eye-opener because, like I said, I thought I knew a lot from training myself and trying to get lean and actually getting lean and trying to put on muscle and then actually trying to put on muscle. And I knew kind of one part of training, a very small part of training. And then you get into personal training and you're like, oh, there's all these other aspects. Some people don't want to be big. Some people just want to be strong. Some people just want to be able to pick up their kids. Some people just want to be able to not have their knees hurt when they walk upstairs. And it all looks very, very, very different. So that's where my personal training journey really started, is learning, oh, this is how you check for these things. This is how you assess for these things. And they train extremely different, right? And then also learning that, it's not even just about training. You have to know, how to coach people through how to eat and, how to change their lifestyle to help with the training.
So that's one thing in terms of a lot of new trainers that come in. And what you just said is that I know how to train myself. Now I need to learn how to train this other person who has different goals than me. So what are some of the courses that you took to kind of help you with that?
Okay, I just want to add on. Not only just train, it's mindset and mentality and lifestyle that you're training too. Some courses that I took DTS1, I took CanFit, I took Precision Nutrition, I took DTS2, I think it was called at the time. Is there I think it was DTS2. I took FST. I took barbell strength. I took Prescript 1, Prescript 2, Paul Check Advanced, Paul Check Programming, Paul Check Advanced Level Programming. I took some Paul Quinn course. I went off.
So main thing for all you new trainers, you hear how many courses he took? It's not just one. I got my CanFit.
Nothing.
That's like you just got your license to drive. You're not there yet, right? And the thing is that you've learned stuff, but you haven't really learned anything yet. So taking that next step. So you did a lot of courses, and you went invested into your knowledge. Yeah. Which, if you think about it, is that people pay $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 to university to get a degree that says kinesiologist, a kinesiology or bachelor's of science. And you need to invest maybe $10,000 under in your education
to be fairly. I remember there was a year that I calculated. I'm like, oh, I spent $6,000 this year on training. Yeah. Right, and it was the FST course was close to $2,000. The PS level 1, I think, was close to $800 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, 800 US.
Right there, that's almost $3,000. And there's other stuff that you're doing, right? You're going to conferences, you're reading books, you're doing this, you're doing that, constantly learning, right?
Okay, so now you are in your own sanctuary, full send. You can see behind us. Now, what is the thing that you had to really learn once you opened up this place?
There was that. I'm still learning. As we just said, I'm still learning.
So you mentioned discipline when we were talking earlier.
Yeah, disciplined.
And something you learned from bodybuilding.
You're taking. There's so much thoughts that's coming to my mind. I'm just trying to like formulate my thoughts here. Like, yeah, I learned from bodybuilding the ability to like to be disciplined and to find a way, find another level. And what I mean by that is like you think that you're doing what you can, but there's always like a little bit more that you can do, right? And most of the time we know that. Like right now, I'm kicking ass right now and I'm doing a lot, but there's still more. And I'm like, oh, you know what? I could have like sent out emails. I could have did this. I could have done that, right? So I think it's about finding like learning to be disciplined and creating like some regiment, like some routines and systems. I think once you have systems in place, it makes things a lot easier and it makes it harder for you to F up. So that was kind of like a huge thing learning, like coming into here, is learning like discipline, learning that, okay, it's not going to be given to you, but you've been in places in your life before where things aren't given to you and you have to find a way. So now you have to just find a way in a new environment. Right? So that was like my biggest takeaway. The other takeaway, actually, I had a second takeaway. Well, it's kind of going back to the same thing. Is because you think that like you open up your own gym, like people are just going to like support you and like walk through the door and hand stuff to you. Going back to the same thing I was just saying. And it's just not like that. Like the people that are going to support you are probably not going to be the people that you think are going to support you. And then you're going to have to go out and find and get it. Like that's just how it is, right?
That's a big one in business for everyone that's getting started in business. The people that you think are going to support you are never the first people. And generally, it's never. And you can just market all the time. You can do all this stuff. And you nailed it on the head with discipline, focusing on the system creation. And that's something I've been talking about for the last little bit, which is like creating systems to make things easier for yourself. Because systems equals saving yourself time, energy, and money.
And the worst thing is to like do something and just be wasting time. I have this saying, and like it sounds a little like contradictory, but like if you're working hard but you're not working smart, you're not working hard yet. You're doing a bunch of shit that like you get the perception that you're working hard because you're doing a lot, but you're not doing much.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean?
I completely agree with you there. It's definitely one of those things where you gotta work harder, and you gotta work smarter. You gotta put those two together. So last question, 'cause I know you got a client and you're about to train. So what are the couple of things that you're working on right now outside of here as well?
Wow. So outside of here, I'm just working on myself constantly. So I'm working on like how to be disciplined still. I'm working on how to like be committed to myself. When I make myself a promise, stick to it. For example, like a couple of weeks ago, I got home, was really, really tired, didn't want to work out, didn't want to do shit, but I hadn't scheduled it as a day off. So it was in my mind that I was like, you have to prove to yourself that in the case or in a scenario where you don't want to do something, you've already made the commitment that you're going to do it. So you don't have to do it well. You don't have to be great, but you have to like stick to your plan. You said you were going to do that, so that's what you're going to do. So I'm doing that. I'm working on I'm doing like a physics course right now.
Physics.
Yeah, it's really, really fun.
Yeah.
I say that like sarcastically, but I'm actually really, really enjoying it. It's pretty hard, but it's something that I like. It's something that you can actually apply to like life and stuff, even in the gym. So I'm actually really, really enjoying that. Yeah, I'm doing a ton of stuff. I'm working on I'm getting back into like my YouTube and my content creation. I don't want to say that I'm competing yet on camera, so maybe you take that out if you want to. We'll see how it goes. Right now, I'm just enjoying training, getting back into training.
You made a course too. You made a course too.
I did make a course. I made a hypertrophy course as well. So that one, it took me like 4 years to write that course, because the science of hypertrophy is always changing. Like before they used to say that you had to create muscle damage. Now, like there's just always like some information that's changing. Hypertrophy is still such a new science. It's still something that's so new. Like we're still debating how much protein like you actually need. We're still debating like, is it higher reps or lower reps? There's some things that are really starting to become clear, but there's still so much that we're trying to figure out. So yeah, I created this course, and it's taken me so long to come up with. There's probably going to be so many more reiterations of it because, again, science is always changing, and I'm always trying to learn. I always can, like we just said, like I don't know anything. So because I don't know anything, I'm always trying to learn something. And in learning something, I'm always changing that course and updating that course. I'm getting into some group training now and some men's challenging just as a way of getting more people involved. Like right now, it's a very tough time financially for people, so giving them another option to train at a more discounted rate is something that I'm getting into. And that, I think that sums it up. There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. Definitely, one of the things that you touched on was like you're involving yourself in a lot of different areas in the fitness realm where you're giving back, which is key. And I think as a lot of trainers, we have all this knowledge, but we are stingy with our knowledge. Share it. Just give it away. And just how you're getting this for free, give away your knowledge for free. Well, that's it for today. I want to make sure that realistically we came in here, had a great workout, got to visit the gym. Definitely a great place. Where can everyone find you, Mike?
You can find me on YouTube at Watch Mike Barnes Lift. You can find me on TikTok at musclecoach.mike. Man, you can find me on TikTok as well. Same TikTok, I believe. What else am I on? Those are kind of the main things that I'm on right now. YouTube, TikTok. Oh, I do a podcast as well. My podcast is called Alpha Nerds. That's on YouTube. I do that with my boy Troy. And I guess you'll find me with this guy hanging out from time to time if he can tolerate me long enough.
I definitely can. I definitely can. This won't be the last time I'm here. Definitely, if you guys liked it, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you send it to a friend if you got any value out of this. Give. It's the spirit of giving, Christmas. And then make sure that you follow Mike on all those channels, all those socials. Follow Full Send on Instagram. I'll leave the link in the description so that way you guys can follow it. And then, yeah, that's it, guys.
Thank you so much.
Peace.
Thanks, man.
No problem.